Hello everybody, DMark95 here, about ready to do a video on how to install an oxygen sensor, and most importantly, why you would want to on a GY6 150, aka a Chinese scooter. What I'm working on here is a Sunny, I think it's Sunny or Dongfeng. I don't actually know what the exact manufacturer is of it. But I've installed a Tata Big Bore kit, and I've installed a performance head with stainless steel valves, titanium coated springs, and various other upgrades, A9 cam. Well, I'm having backfiring at high RPMs. So, what I want to do is I want to eliminate the fuel as a problem. Right now, I've got the stock carburetor on there, and I upjetted from a 35 to a 40 on the slow. And then on the pilot, I went up to I went from a 105 to a 125. So I'm getting popping at the high RPMs. So I'm going to eliminate it. And I figured I'd do a video on why. Now, what I got going on here, this is Ecotrons. It's a full kit. It's got your gauge, which tells you what your reading is. That's AFR is the acronym you will often see used. That's air-fuel ratio, which basically, long story short, you want the number at 14.7. When it starts going like down to 10, you're rich. If you're going up to 20, you're lean. Pretty simple, huh? So, that's why you want this kit. It completely eliminates the guesswork. Now, the reason I got this specific kit, I'll later on be tying on an Ecotrons fuel injection kit. I've already got the kit, but that's a different story, different video. What I'm going to be using here, it is the Bosch LSU 4.9. This is the wide band. This is the most advanced version they have out on the market. They have it working with the LSU 4.9. The LSU 4.9 works with the, where is it at? I got it right here somewhere. It's the, I'm trying to find it. Oh, the Bosch driver chip, CJ25. Now, that's a chip made by Bosch, or programmed by Bosch at least. And working with your kit, you'll be able to get a really good reading. So, I just drifted off there for a second. I was trying to read this manual to make sure I got you guys the right chip number and stuff. All right, so back to what I was doing. First step you got to do is you got to get a pipe that can accept the oxygen sensor. I had to go up to a local muffler shop. Basically, I had to pre-drill the hole. I put in a 3/4 inch hole right there, and you take the bung to them and have them welded on. They charged me like $25 to weld that on. That's quite a bit, but whatever, I needed it done. Now, actually, this particular model, the exhaust you're going to see that I use, it's a DSTAR, doesn't really work on this. I'm going to have to remove that shock and get it out of my way, because this is a dual shock, and the shock touches the exhaust. And this is the only exhaust I have at the moment that I'll be able to run this kind of test with. So, that's why I'm using it. So, this is just for testing purposes. So, let's get on with it, shall we? First step you got to do, once you got your bung on, you obviously got to mount your exhaust manifold. Let's get started with that. Alright, so actually, mounting the exhaust flange, if you manage to get your exhaust off and go up and have your bung welded on, chances are you know how to put this on. It's, just... Alright, so now that we've got the exhaust manifold mounted, go ahead and remove the protective cap. If you look at the threads, that that's how you can tell you got high quality stuff right there. I don't know if it's coming up in the video, but you can see they pre-applied anti-seize. But anyways, moving on. 22 millimeter wrench. Okay, so for the purpose of this video, now that I've got the oxygen sensor installed in there, I've got to go ahead and finish putting the pipe on. Now that's not going to be specific to your application, but I'll be right back as soon as that's done. Just a quick side note in case anybody gets one of these. Right here, this hole, you have to put a screw through, mount to there. This is your dB killer, decibel killer, sound suppressor, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, just thought I'd point that out. I had to pull this back off there because I forgot to put that stupid screw in there. Alright, so I got the exhaust mounted on there. Here, let's take a close look. This scooter is the same color. See, it's red like that. It's that metallic red. That would have looked really, really good on there. Anyways, it's going on that red Sunny, the BMS Heritage over there in the corner. So it'll look just fine anyways. I had to wind up mounting the swing arm. I didn't plan on doing all that. I thought I could just mount one of these on one of these little posts that was on the original exhaust. But anyways, as you can see, I've got the oxygen sensor installed. Oxygen sensor. Alright. So, anyways, be right back. Alright, first step is hook up your, well, really you can go in any step. It's really pretty simple. The accurate Lambda meter has got 4 inputs and a on-off switch. These, the plugs, plug right in. So, as you can see, they're labeled. Go over here to gauge, and I'll just plug this one right on in. Look for your little notch. There'll be a notch in it. And you'll hear it click. And that's it. So, we've got our gauge plugged in. For the purposes of this video, I won't be running the wiring all throughout the scooter and everything. I'm just hooking this up because this kit is not going to stay on this scooter. Alright, next up we're going to be plugging in the power. Power is real simple. Now, this is confusing in the manual. If you didn't have the Ecotrons fuel injection kit, you might not know what it's talking about if you're trying to hook this up. So, let me just point this out. These 2 extra wires that are hooked up to this cable, this is your power cable. You've got your positive and negative, and then these right here, you've got your analog output and your ground. Now what these are, these will go off to an ECU, your computer, if you're running a fuel injection system. In this instance, we're not. So, what we're going to do is we're going to tie these 2 grounds to the same ground, leave this analog output unhooked, not hook it to anything, and then this positive right here, it's going to go to a 12 volt relay positive. That's a relay is basically when you turn your scooter on, your ignition on, your key acts as a relay. A relay is basically an electronic switch, well, in the sense that I'm talking about. But basically what happens is you connect this to a wire that turns on when you turn your key. Could be up there in your ignition, could be your tail light wire, your daytime running lights, any wire that gets activated when you turn your key on, that's what you want to hook that up to. If you don't have one of them available, you can always run a relay. But anyways, that's what I've done. I've got a relay already run. So I'm going to go ahead and hook this up, and I'll be right back.